for coming here today. So this is our second EMI training, and to start, let's invite Professor Gao, our head of the professional divisions, developed divisions, to give us an open remark and introduce our speaker today. So let's applause.
Yeah, I think you guys saw me a lot, especially this week. It's a very short week, a lot of holiday. I'm glad everyone's still here, come here, and it's for food. But actually, I think the most important thing is to listen to a very outstanding talk today, because today's lecture is Professor Lin from National Taiwan University. Professor Lin Shao-Pin currently is the Director of Research Center for Developmental Biology and Regenerative Medicine. And also she is a professor in Institute of Biotechnology, NTU. Actually, she has a lot of titles. I didn't want to go through it. It's too many titles. And so she is a molecular biologist. She explored the real world application of pure science research to the real world, and she received at least 4 exceptional performance awards from Ministry of Science and Technology since 2022. So that's very outstanding performance in research. But not only in research, she also received a lot of teaching awards. At least 4 or 5 teaching awards from National Taiwan University. And most important, she also got an excellent English medium instruction in 2020. So she actually is like a superwoman. I mean, I know it's like I just asked a question: how you survive in such a tight schedule? Because yeah, I'm really surprised she accepted our invitation to give us a talk. Because I know she's a very busy schedule, but I think this is really good chance for us to listen to a great educator to teach us how can we survive in the EMI lecture, especially as a TA. How can we help to organize the class in the EMI classroom? So without further ado, let's give Professor Lin a round of applause.
Thanks for the really kind introduction. Maybe you can start from a video. You are going to maybe interact with us today and maybe give your lecture later as well, just like in the video. But before that, okay, hopefully you can still eat peacefully. Would you please scan the QR code, please? So I think this is one of the key reasons you are here, I assume. Because being a TA, one of the really important tasks is to stimulate discussion. So you already have some idea. So for some of the tips, for example, we may introduce a little bit of some teaching modules like books. So like bridge in and then give the objectives and then pre-test. So this is kind of serving a pre-test for me as well today. And then interactive course presentation, so which you are going to do some presentation later as well. And we may have a post-test, which, well, we'll see. Okay, so next questions maybe. Please also try to type in your idea about how to handle a class with students having really wide spectrum of scientific background or the course material background, and also language background, and also maybe cultural background. Yeah. So this is really everyday life for us. I've been teaching EMI classes for almost 20 years. So actually our Institute of Biotechnology started when we established 20 years ago. We decided we are going to use EMI. So across the years, the 2 decades, we really bridge students, local students and international students to be not afraid of using English. It doesn't really matter that much about whether your pronunciation or grammar is totally correct. Like I make like a language mistake all the time. But the point is whether you can get the idea through. Okay, so body language, yes. Yeah, so what I use most maybe for grouping. So later we will have some activities involving you and your neighbors. Body language helps. Yeah, for people who may not be used to using English for everyday life. Sometimes, like a very young, I old, that kind of English, like without the full sentence, sometimes it can actually get the idea through. So don't worry about encouraging your students. just to say any words. And what I use a lot also will be I would, in the very beginning of the semester, I would usually give students some opportunity to introduce themselves. It can be like really simple, just like my name is something and I'm from which department, and maybe my expectation for this class will be. And if they are hesitating and they are kind of really afraid, you can tell. Then if they speak Chinese or any language that you may know, then it's okay for them to use whatever language they are comfortable with, and you may be the interpreter to help them. And so for my experience, maybe within 3 weeks, most of the time I can get the students to talk. Maybe not always confidently, but they will be willing to talk to each other. And the other tips will be really grouping, I think, group discussion. Later on, I'm going to use a new course I'm planning for the winter vacation. There's a dialogue with Nobel laureates. We are maximizing the heterogeneity of each group. So for example, I think for TA, you will be getting the students' background. I mean, for the which year they are in. For example, they are freshmen or they are second year, third year, and maybe their departments. So if you are dealing with a course where they have like a really very broad spectrum of students' knowledge background, and potentially English proficiency background as well, even cultural background. So we will find a way to use those information to separate people from the same country, from the same department, if it is possible, and separate students from the same grade. So that for each group, there will be, well, basically maximize the heterogeneity. And what I would do correlating to that will be maybe we can, if you are also involved in some grading, I assume you are, right? As a TA, you will be helping the professors to do certain grading. So what I do after group discussion, so group discussion, the idea is really to get the group members with heterogeneity of the background. For those who are more comfortable with the topics, they can really teach peer, not just peer pressure, like a peer support. I think is really powerful. Often students are more comfortable talking in private, like relatively private, if you are going to experience soon later, than directly talking to the professor or speak in public. So using the grouping, I think is quite effective. And what I will do will be, I may give students a few minutes to discuss, and then I will randomly choose one representative from a group to start answer, and then the group members can support. And sometimes I would give group, either it's just for discussion, it's not graded, or sometimes I would give group score, so that students who are more proficient in that particular chapter should really help their teammates. So I think that helps. And yes, Google Translate. Don't forget that now there are really lots of AI tools. At least in NTU, I think the idea is, as long as we use AI ethically, it's at least not prohibited. It's even encouraged as a facilitating tool, not to ask AI to do your job, but to use AI to help you to achieve what you wanted quicker. I mean, for example, for helping you to do translation. And there are, what I use a lot as teaching supports will be also videos. Because later on we can just choose, like if you go to YouTube even, just key in the keywords of the topic you are studying or you are going to teach. And often they have a pretty good video and kind of, you can choose the length. There are like 1 or 2 hours. Most of the time students won't have patience to read through it. So there are like maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes YouTube videos. And you can either just use that as a supporting material and also I will often choose YouTube videos from just entry level and then also the more advanced level YouTube video and for students in different background. So that helps us a lot as well, and help you to prepare your teaching material a lot. Yeah. Okay. So last one. Can you maybe put up the AI you think is helpful? Now, each AI tools have got its advantages usually, and most of the time, limitations. So for example, ChatGPT, it depends on which version you use, but most of the time ChatGPT would hallucinate. That's what we really worried about. So only Gemini. So how about something for helping you to read like 10 papers? OBEI seems to be a pretty good one. No one put on Perplexity yet. Yeah, I use Perplexity most. So because that's one of the software which gives you references. So as long as the one gives you real reference, not like a fake reference, then you have something to refer to and to double check. That will be better. So one of the activities, like even my last year, my high school student, he said his school teacher asked them to compose a draft for a homework and then use AI to better it, and then present the final version of AI assisted but the student finalized version and with references, etc. Or sometimes the practice can be just introduce any of the AI program that you think is useful, and then ask a student to try it, and then give a homework will be before and after AI assistant. Yeah. Or usually I will ask students to write down, because I actually almost encourage AI in my class. So I will ask them to state down which AI program they have used. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so I think this is really what I would like to take with you for today, and I think that maybe one of the reasons apart from lunch that you come here is to really bridge some communication for the class, and then helping to facilitate and to help students from different levels of knowledge, and also for English proficiency. For videos, for example, nowadays if you even like recording my video, you can choose like subtitle of many different languages, and even using AI. So I know some TA being really thoughtful and helpful. They can turn, for example, help the professor to turn a CMI course into an EMI video by doing AI translation, subtitle, or even use another AI program to read, and it was like a pretty good pronunciation. I mean, not terribly fake, the kind of voice. And then it will be useful material. I think for some of the material you can get from our CB, NTU Center for Bilingual Education. Then you can see lots of tips for helping you to be a better TA or prepare you to be a future TA. And some of those, I think maybe for STEM, for this STEM, for some of them, I think that's material similar to what I am giving you guys as a gift, like the teaching, the several publications from our NTU press, like a teaching excellence and beyond teaching assistant training manual. And I was involved in help building a little bit for the EMI empowerment toolkit, which includes like the introduction of the books and also many powerful AI tools or just learning tools. It may not be AI that you can use in the class. So what I'm trying to say is, for some of the video, it seems like maybe AI assisted video. Having the material from the books and then turning that into slides. There are also AI can do it. I didn't put in today, but actually I attended another teaching AI teaching facilitating course. They summarize the AIs that's useful for different steps of your learning or the different steps of your teaching. And that includes turning material into slides and writing scripts. And if you try, like even ChatGPT, if you try that, you can very easily like build some slides. Or maybe your slide was made that way. So I will show like what my TA come up with for today's slide. And then you can just use like a subtitle and then have AI to read the script, and they become a video. So the thing is, different students would have different acceptance of different ways that can help them learn. I noticed that some students are really good in reading, so they really prefer to have a textbook. So because of that, my lab wrote several review articles because we need to explain something quite complicated clearly, and we are aware students would like to have it in like a part of your written format. So we did that, and you will see later we draw a lot of figures. I happen to have science students also have art background, so they can draw really nice figures for explaining the idea. So now with AI, you may be able to use AI to help you to generate some graph, but those graphs are you need to control the accuracy. Yeah, at the moment it seems to be more difficult to AI to give completely okay graph. For example, when I'm searching for a teaching video, sometimes I feel like the text was totally fine, but the video, you can tell it's AI generated, which is fine, but it's not that accurate. For example, you may be talking about DNA, but it's showing RNA or something like that, so it's not precise. Then I won't use that in the class, except it can be used in the class and ask the students to correct the errors. That's another good way of learning. So basically, there are really a lot of ways to help students to learn. And I'm showing those because NTU TAs, before they go through this kind of training class, I think they are requested to watch at least some of those videos. So this is also a very good way you can use in your TA career, that you can prepare something in advance and ask students to go through it. And most of the time, the professors will also do that. So professor, or maybe the professors has already given a lecture, and you will be doing a supporting teaching, right, or QA session. So in those cases, it's kind of like the flipped classroom scenario, 反转教室. So students would learn something first, and then when they do come to the class, it's mainly for discussion and activities. 我们加速到1点。Okay, so I need to control the time so that you can really work together later. Okay, so I'm currently the director for NTU Research Center for Developmental Biology and Regenerative Medicine. Although it looks very medical or biology, but actually we have like 50 interdisciplinary faculties, and actually there are faculties working on like tissue engineering. That some of your medical engineering or tissue engineering related or chemical engineering students came to take my course. We actually have professors from EE, electronic engineering, from chemical engineering, yes, because some materials can be also used for as medical device. And we have biophysics, biomechanics. So the point is, we will be encountering a lot of opportunities that we want to have interdisciplinary and maybe international engagement or discussion to form like big groups, which we have been trying. And just last night, our center in the United Kingdom for Cambridge University, academia and the industrial institution to have some strategic exchange. And that was, this exchange was held in August, and we very quickly formed like collaborative consortium. And last night we had an international meeting. So in those scenario, we need to bridge like business and also engineering and also automation and biology, basic biology, medical topics. So the point is, I really need to rush. I really hope that you guys can have some time to practice. So throughout those interdisciplinary discussion, for example, when we are having medical doctors helping us to collect samples from patients, and then in our lab we do a lot of molecular analysis, and then we have really high dimension data sets. Like for each patient, we have quantitation of maybe 4,700 proteins, 2,700-ish microRNAs, and those really high dimension data sets, it needs like at least very advanced statistics or even mathematical model to tackle it, to find which one really correlate to particular disease or particular stage of the disease. So with that, I think I personally spend maybe over 1,000 hours communicating with a mathematician who are building a mathematical model for us. So this interdisciplinary discussion, the point is, which should be very helpful for your teaching as well, avoid jargon. So that's one of my answer to the previous question. When you have a very diverse students with very diverse background, how do you deliver some information? So for example, this is a bad example. This is epigenetics. So how many of you have heard epigenetics before from this audience? None. Okay, so indeed, epigenetics is not a word. It's a jargon. It's totally a jargon. It's not a word that people will usually know. So how about saying, epigenetics? Okay, let me try to do the technical, very jargon, the bad example. So epigenetics talk about DNA methylation, histone modification on the DNA double helix. So epigenetics refers to a topic that control gene expression without changing DNA sequences. Still not easy to deliver, right? So that's bad example. So if I'm facing a more general audience, when I'm trying to introduce like those proteins like wrap around DNA double helix, I think DNA double helix most of the audience can understand. And for histone protein, it's a jargon. I don't think everyone will know histone protein. So the term I may be using for the same slide I may use many times in my class or throughout the semester, but each time I will increase the difficulties or the depth of the science. So the first time I would just say it's control of gene activity, turn the gene on, off, turning up the expression level, turning the gene's product, more of them or less of them, and then that's controlled partly by the protein that wrapped around the DNA sequence. So protein wrapping or DNA wrapping around protein, those will be slightly better choice of words. So you'll see from the initial video that they play taboo, right? So taboo is like you are not, so the ones who are guessing what the word is, they cannot see it. So it's another group members like telling you what's behind you. Not only that you cannot say what it is directly, like the computer, you cannot say computer. And also there are several related words you need to avoid. So that practice will help you to find different ways to talk about the same topic. Okay, so what I prepared for today, we hardly have time. So this I will leave the slide for you. So those are the consolidated material from some of the videos that you can already view from our NTUCD website. And also this is an example of AI assisted, and I think my TA also edited presentation slides. And I also have another set of slides kind of combining some of the videos and some of the words. As we don't have time, I'm not going to read through it, but hopefully you can browse it and then grab some ideas. Yeah, including pretty detailed like suggestion of what to do, what not to do to facilitate multidisciplinary and multicultural discussion. And so something like terminology, pay attention on the words you are using. First of all, for scientific accuracy, even when I'm like, for example, turning down the difficulties for explaining the concept, apart from that, I am still trying to make it as accurate as possible, which I just made a bad example earlier on. So the wording that I used was not totally accurate. You are going to have 5 minutes. Is it going to be possible to choose one of the Nobel laureates who is going to come to Taiwan in the next several months? So starting from November to May, actually there are many Nobel laureates going to come for each Nobel Prize. So they will come with a sentence. So that sentence is very carefully composed, and they try their best to make it as accurate as possible, not only for now, but hopefully for the future. I think many of you are engineering students. How many of you are engineering or physics, chemistry, basically not art students? You know, science, sometimes with new evidence, people may need to revise the theory, or they may need to revise something that they thought was correct. So sometimes science will correct itself. However, so for the Nobel review committees, they will come up with a sentence, something those scientists discovered, and it's most likely to be still true in the next several decades at least. Can you try to choose one of the Nobel laureates and try to understand and explain what you read from here to your neighbor? Can we just maybe, without too much time, we maybe just pair up to anyone next to you? or maybe the one behind you. You can go to the website like that one and choose anyone you think you are interested in. 4 hours and 48 minutes. This year's chemistry award is going to be announced. Try to find anyone and try to understand the sentence and then explain who you are with member. Is that okay? I know in many class, when a professor put an assignment and student will just put the AI up and then just read what the AI says. I'm hoping you can at least internalize the answer and use your own words to describe.
Of Medicine in 2025. And their work is on the discovery for peripheral immune tolerance. And we were thinking what would be the easier way to express these concepts in much simpler terms so that the students can understand. And the lecturer gave us a really good example. So for the word peripheral, we basically just can explain it the other way, saying it's non-central. So it's anything that's non-central. So anything outside of the central focus is peripheral. And as for immune, maybe it is the way our body system fights illness. So it would be the easier way to kind of deliver the concepts to the students.
So one tip is for this kind of task, ChatGPT or Perplexity will be both very useful. The thing is, one question you should ask. Throw that sentence in and say, please explain as if I was a primary school student or junior high school student. And usually AI can give you a pretty good answer. And then at least you start from there. And for your teaching as well, you'll find it, when you find it hard to teach a complicated concept, of course you should do your own brainstorming, but at the same time, nowadays, like consulting AI, either for coding and for other things, I think somewhere you may be teaching, is also quite useful. But the thing is not just, AI you can actually ask your student to use AI to help the comprehension, and then and you can test whether they really understand and ask them to use their own ways, their own words to say it. Anyone else?
Especially about the Helicobacter pylori, because my roommate had this disease, so I thought it's really interesting. So this is like a small bacteria which can be found on the bottom of your stomach, and approximately 50% of the total population have it, and it may cause like permanent stomach disease, which may lead to like small holes or like injuries on the stomach from inside.
Yes.
So it's really important for us to know about this.
And so they figure out it's actually bacteria.
Yeah. So like before, people didn't know why some of the population have like, some stomach issues, like stomach ache or even this holes. I'm not from medicine department, sorry.
So actually using antibiotics can help if the stomach ulcer is because of those, not because of stress from the class or something. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Let me try to wrap up. Yeah. So actually as NTU as a student, you are also eligible to choose NTU course, right? So this course, although be taking place in winter vacation, at the moment, because we need to register for the course for this semester, so that registration was already over. However, this was for the class. However, we heard that the university is considering of opening, so the same course, but open another class in winter. So you may still have opportunity to register. And that the duration, let's see. The duration of the course was, so it's from 22nd of December to before Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year. Yeah, so it's just entirely for the winter break. So if you are interested, when there's another round of registration open, so you are more than welcome. So we still have positions for this particular course that I'm organizing, and together with professors from chemistry, economics, life science, and physics. And what I would like to share with you at the moment is that in Cambridge, the college system is not like a college of life science, college of natural science, college of engineering. They do not do it that way. They have departments like that. But for the college, it's more for everyday life. So it's very much like Harry Potter setting, right? 4 long tables, 1 high table. That's really where we go every day for our dinner, and we need to wear the gowns, very much like Harry Potter. But the point I would like to introduce over here is because our college mates can be from any discipline. It can be from like if you have history students, medical student, engineering student together, and so we are forced to conduct interdisciplinary dialogue. So I'm trying to use this to end today's course, and hope that over here, when our environment is more and more internationalized, we have in the class, we have many classmates, students, and even professors being from any country. So it's really a brilliant opportunity for people to experience intercultural and interdisciplinary dialogue. And since you are here, I think you are already putting yourself into a very internalization environment. I wish you all the very best and for a very fruitful teaching experience. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you.